I feel like we should have more moon technology or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I think shit is like flying up from the ocean to the sky.
It's like surfing in some oil spillage. Inhaled like a whole bag of goose feathers.
I worry primarily about whether there are nightclubs in heaven.
Physically incapable. Yeah, he was like, I am physically incapable of yelling. Like, I physically cannot do that.
I'm as loud as I get right now.
Exactly. And then they were like, but did you yell at him first? I'm like, well, yeah. And they were like, well.
You're listening to 98.1, The Sock.
The sock. It's the same one I used last
With
night.
the
too.
deal in the dirt.
91 in the morning, The Sock.
Do you guys watch Parks and Rec?
Oh, yeah.
The douche.
Crazy Ira and the dude.
Now back to
then
that's the funniest twist was when he ended up being like this university educated, really smart guy.
Yeah.
Really intellectual questions, and then he just does a 180 and be like,
And he
are
was-
you looking for douches? Because they're me.
Oh God! I liked when they go to the sperm bank and they're like, "Oh, this guy's like, he's a regular," and it's a fucking douche.
No joke, I sell my sperm, and I've definitely met the douche at least twice. I think, you know how you say, like, there's always the one crazy person in your family, and then if there's not the one crazy person in your family, you're the crazy person in your family. So I've been there, and if I hadn't seen the douche, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm the douche.
No, there's I tried to donate my eggs via Craigslist one time because I was
Shit, what?
I've seen those ads so many
yes.
There's
Well, are we
legitimate
rolling?
channels in place, woman.
Wait, are we recording right now?
Yeah, we are.
Hey.
We're always recording.
No, like Vaughn and I were like, fuck, like we need another job, but I was like, the fastest way we can get money is I'll donate my eggs.
Vaughn, provide for your woman and sell your seed, man.
Oh no, but like we also like talked about it. We were like, yeah, you could also sell your sperm, but that's like $10 a pump.
Yeah,
No,
that's
dude,
almost.
it's like
It's worthless.
It's like $60 a pump.
What?
Yeah, you get like 30 up front, and then like the other half goes to like you get it all in a lump sum at the end of the contract. But like you get $60 per.
Damn,
it's,
Vaughn,
pretty
you
good.
should do that.
it's a pretty decent setup.
We've
It's-
determined we don't need any more of my family's DNA. And the reason for
you
that,
don't, but the world as a whole,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, my dad's like this huge, like, ladies' man, pimp daddy, whatever, right? And so he slept with, like, all of San Diego, literally.
We might even be related to
No,
it.
like
Exactly.
he
In some
literally
way, we're
has.
probably related.
He has an older brother that he does not know about.
Yeah, he's out there somewhere. So.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing this,
hey.
Vaughn Tyler Ramirez is looking for
Hey,
you.
we all
I met one
we
of your
all
brothers,
have,
right?
We
Yeah,
all
yeah.
have surprise siblings here, right?
Right.
I mean, we do.
We were surprised with a sibling when I was like 8 years old
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys don't know the story? Did Ian?
No,
Ian let you-
I want to know the story.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jack and I have a sister, Jenny. My mom
Jenny.
had her.
Let's not get into details, but the point is, our mom became pregnant when she was younger, not particularly by choice. We're not going to go into any further details than that, but she chose to have the baby and then give it up for adoption, which was probably the most responsible choice to make. She wound up with a loving and supportive family who was financially ready to take care of a kid. Happened to live in Ohio, so they took her back to Ohio, and then years and years later, when she was married with our dad and we were both born, she gets a phone call and she just says, "Oh fuck," and she looks at the calendar. She's like, she just turned 18. And so it turned out that our half sister, who we had no knowledge of, had just turned 18 and tracked down her birth mother
and wanted to have siblings.
Yeah,
On her birthday.
Yeah, on her birthday. Like, that was like her 18th birthday thing. Like, yeah, like I just remember my mom telling us about this, like, years after the fact. And like, she just said, like, yeah, the day of, she got the phone call and she was like, oh shit. I'm pretending to look at my wrist right now, but there's not a calendar on a watch. So like she probably would have looked at a calendar on a wall and been like, she just turned 18. Because this was not when you could like pull out your phone and check what the date was. This was like early 2000s. But yeah, so so like the day after, or I assume a couple days after, I don't know the exact chronology because I was 6. But we came home from school. And they sat us down at the kitchen table where all serious shit was announced.
Oh no, that's the worst.
And we were like, "Oh, who died? Who died? Who in the family died?" And they were like, "No, it's the opposite. There's not less people in the family. There's more." And so they were like you were like 8 and I was 6, right? That's
about the appropriate time.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it laid out. And
not
so,
appropriate,
and
but
so
correct.
I can't think of like the best way to break this news, but like they probably did it in the best way that they could. And like we handled it, and like, I'm 6, so like I have no sense of what should be normal. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
When do we meet her? And then like a few days later, we were at the bowling alley that used to be up the hill from us, that's not there anymore because now it's condos. Right. And she was there, and we met our half sister who was 18. I was 6, Ian was 8, and now family.
Yeah. You guys still keep in contact?
Yeah. Like, she like for a couple of years she lived in Santa Rosa, like or around Santa Rosa, like when she was going to college, and then when she got married and had kids, and like, I would go up there like once every couple months or once every year and just like spend some time with them, spend some time with their kids, my niece and nephew. And a couple of years ago, they moved from Santa Rosa to Ohio, where she was raised, to live like on the same property as like her parents. And like there's multiple houses on that property, and there's lots of space to go run around. And it's great for the kids. It's just it's a little bit hard not being able to see them at all. Because they're all the way over there. Like last time I saw him was a couple of years ago, back around my nephew's 9th birthday. My voice is trashed, by the way. I had the flu, and now I'm getting back from that, and I've been hacking up a lung at work. And, yeah.
Damn, she just got serious real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like crazy serious, real quick. Anyway.
Yeah, I had the flu for New Year's, but I've since recovered.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, don't shake Jack's hand.
Don't shake. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like nobody here is on handshaking terms at this point. It's all hugs, but also don't hug me. Like,
don't fucking touch me. Don't look at me. No. Don't even look at my direction.
I thrive off hugs, but like, don't hug me for your own sake.
Bienvenidos,
Run from me, children! Save yourselves!
Fear me!
Save yourselves! Jesus wept.
El Diablo.
What?
Hellraiser, motherfucker. You solved the lament configuration, and now you must be tortured for all eternity. I am the Pinhead, brought to you by Clive Barker. I'm very tired.
We just went straight into this episode.
Yeah.
Straight in. No.
Just raw. No lube.
No warnings, no lube.
No lube, no condoms. No foreplay.
I didn't want to be the first one to go there, but I was going to go there regardless. So thank you for doing it first. Taking one for the team. Yeah. You, Yvonne, are the champion.
Thank you.
Have we done an introduction yet, or has it just been us talking? We're 10 minutes in. Have we done an introduction for our guests?
I tried to in Espanol, but you went on your thing.
I steamrolled mainly because...
You steamrolled me.
Mainly because...
Buenos dias, bienvenido a Aslan.
Yeah.
This is Aslan.
That's what I get for falling behind on my fucking Duolingo. Anyway, we have on the show, Ian, do your thing.
Welcome to Yvonne Ramirez.
Thank you.
Hello. So yeah, we're back in this motherfucker, except this is our first time.
You already know what the fuck going on.
We're back in this motherfucker for the first time.
Hell yeah,
So it's a little bit better than Back to the Future, if that's what you were wondering.
Nobody's trying to fuck their mom. It's much better than Back to the Future. No Libyan terrorists shooting our weird grandpa best friend. It's great.
No uranium.
That wasn't okay. Can we not gloss over the fact that he straight up almost fucked his mom?
Have you guys seen Glow? Like, it's that Netflix show about
the
gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yeah, the glamorous ladies of wrestling. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Oh, okay, all right.
Gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the guy thinks that he's like he's gonna like create this new movie, and then he's like, oh, it's where they travel into the future, and then he falls in love with his mom, and then
In
the
the
people
future,
at the,
how? How, Daryl?
Then the people in the party are like, oh, I've seen that. That's Back to the Future, and it was like he almost fucked his mom.
No.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it was hilarious. America, the only country where fucking your mom is hilarious.
And then a white guy invents a song written by a black guy that invents rock and roll, specifically because he heard it in the future.
Yo, Chuck, this is your cousin Marlon Bailey. You
know that new sound you're looking for? Well, instead of inventing it yourself and creating a genre, there's a white boy who's playing the exact song right now. Listen to this. Oh, there are a lot of disturbing implications in Back to the Future, and we will dig into that throughout this episode, plus other things. But first,
Tide Pods.
Also, the song "Blue" by Eiffel 65.
Also, Tide Pods and "Blue" by Eiffel 65. But first, some corrections from last week's episode. When I said that if you put Ron Perlman and Will Ferrell together, you kind of get Tom Waits, what I meant to say was, if you put Tom Waits and Will Ferrell together, you kind of get Ron Perlman. I apologize for my error, and I will now graciously retire from journalism.
And
The mathematics is not transitive.
That concludes Jack's career. Thank you, Jack, for showing up.
I now humbly bow and move and exit stage left. I will go to the island where they put all retired journalists. I will just play.
He will go to NPR.
I will go to the island with all disgraced journalists. I'll just play cards with Charlie Rose.
Actually,
until we both die.
According to that one movie, I believe it was the one we were talking about, where Howard Beale, he's like a journalist, and all of a sudden he goes fucking apeshit, and he's like, man, I'm mad as hell,
and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
The song that's been sampled by so many bands.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it? I did not know that.
That speech has been sampled like crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm sure.
English is my second language.
I'm a human being, goddammit.
I'm sure that if you searched that speech on YouTube, you will have a hard time finding the actual movie clip, because like the first 3 or 4 results will just be that movie speech. Yeah. Set to Time by Hans Zimmer from I think it's like one of the Christopher Nolan movies. Yeah, it's like that song. Like whenever you look for any kind of epic speech from a movie, it's like the first 3 or 4 results are just that speech set to Time by Hans Zimmer, and then eventually, if you dig deep enough, you can find the actual movie quote. Yeah, like the speech from The Great Dictator is the same way.
Yeah, it's always like that. There's always going to be like, the first 3 tampers. There's going to be Sparta remix in there.
Yeah, and then there's going to be one that remixes it into some whatever anime has become a meme lately.
Yeah, there's going to be an anime plus Nightcore remix.
Yeah, like if anybody's seen the new Star Wars, I was trying to look up a clip from the new Star Wars because it was just a really like incredible like visual moment. Like I know like everybody who was in the theater when I went to see it last night, like just like, you know, everybody gasped. I know like you were probably like, you know, I think you know the moment I'm talking about. We're not going to spoil it, but like the moment where it's like everything gets like silent and like it's just visuals, and it's really cool for a sec.
Yeah, we'll spoil it when CJ's on.
Yeah, when CJ's on, we'll talk about it in full. But like, I was looking up that clip because I knew that clip was going to be on YouTube, like, you know, 10 days after the movie came out, like 10 seconds after the movie came out. But I saw it like 2 or 3 weeks late, so like I knew it was going to be out at that point. But all I could find was like that scene shot on a camcorder, like shaky and shit, and it's like all the audio is dubbed from like Fist of the North Star or something. It's like whatever clip from Fist of the North Star had become a meme, and they just suited it to that. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like memes will always overcome.
Yes.
Whatever IP laws there are, memes will overcome.
So have you two seen Star Wars 8
I
yet?
don't like westerns.
Oh man, that's a whole nother podcast and a half. I have not seen it. I'm trying to get somebody to get me free tickets to it, but hopefully soon.
Because I won't watch it with him because I don't like westerns. Oh, but what I was trying to get out with the Howard Beale thing, that I'm out of town, I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, he was, an exiled journalist. I have air quotes when I said exiled journalist.
Well, you don't get on the air sweaty in like 3-day-old clothes after exile.
Exactly.
If you watch the movie, he like stormed his way in sweaty.
Yeah.
If you're in
and
good
his
shape.
3-day-old clothes. It's like, man as hell. They're
Exactly.
Like, don't
so
cut him off. He's got something.
you don't have to worry about being exiled from journalism. Just act fucking crazy. Go ape shit, create your own show.
Get turned on New Year's and get an ear piercing like Don Lemon.
Yes, except that last part where he dies at the end of the movie. Just skip that part.
Don Lemon dies at the end?
No!
Oh my god! Don Lemon, watch out! The ear piercing will get you a staph infection and you'll die, Don Lemon!
It's because he got his ear piercing at Claire's.
Yeah. It was a staph infection from the ear piercing a year ago.
Yeah.
That's why
I've heard it's like more clean to get an ear piercing done at a tattoo parlor than it is at the mall.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
duh,
those guns-
because it's the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, honestly, they don't even train you. They just give you a gun and they're like, all right, get a pen.
Just go
put the
crazy,
dot,
kid.
Yeah, put the dot on the fucking earlobe and just shoot the gun in. And it's like,
which part's the
bitch.
earlobe? You're trained enough.
Exactly.
At a tattoo parlor, they're trained to be like sanitary. And,
Exactly.
And like the people who do it are artists who like
You
work
can also sell keychains.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
use a tattoo gun.
at a tattoo parlor. They're trained to be sanitary, and they're fucking artists who are familiar with the fact that what they do has real consequences on the human body, so they
Yeah.
don't fuck around.
Like,
Todd, who works at the mall and gave me my shitty ear piercing, and also killed Don Lemon.
And also sells iPhone cases for $5.
hey, I got my ears pierced at the kiosk. Oh, have you guys? Okay, so this reminded me when you were talking about like movies that that turn to memes like literally the day after the movie comes out. So
Right
you know
after.
how like everyone's been on like on board with The Room after like now
Well,
the
yeah,
disaster. Yeah, like all of a sudden it just like blew the fuck up.
Even
though it's
before
been-
the disaster artist, I knew like tons of people who liked The Room.
I've
Fake
never
liked
heard about it until like the disaster artist.
Dude.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just so separated from white culture that I just don't know anything. Like I really don't. Like a lot of times, like Vaughn always like says these like white catchphrases that like I don't know white people use all the time, and I'm like, what does that mean?
That's neato.
Hey, Vaughn. Peanut butter, right? Right? You know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not
Right,
along
right?
those lines. It's expression.
White people.
It's common white expressions that
Yes,
she's
yes.
referring to.
Yeah.
Like,
Peanut butter,
what?
peanut butter, peanut
Like,
butter.
peanut butter. Don't lick the peanut butter. Like I didn't get
Tax
that. I didn't
evasion,
get that.
right?
Am I right?
No, like honestly, for the longest time, I was like, what is don't lick the peanut butter? Like I don't get it, and everyone was like, blah!
Wait, is that really a thing? I was just fucking around.
Well, I guess so. Like I guess apparently, like I guess in like anime culture or whatever, you like put peanut butter on your hoo-ha and then your dog comes and like
Wait, is that anime culture?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or is that just people who shouldn't own dogs culture?
Or was that
Probably
like my
both.
last Tuesday? Like,
my last Tuesday. We don't even have a dog, Vaughn.
I'm
Who
claiming
is licking that
I'm
peanut butter?
claiming custody of your hypothetical dog, Vaughn.
then I need to get checked. But that's besides the point.
You need to get checked for hallucinatory dog fellatio syndrome.
Oh, but so with The Room, like I saw this one screenshot of the film where you know he's like, "Oh, you're tearing me apart, Lisa."
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
And someone got that screenshot and said, "I ate a Tide Pod, Lisa."
Tide Pods are just so delicious. You can't resist.
I do love like I'm assuming like they synced it up so like the mouth movements like fit if you like read it on a GIF where it's like,
Well, it was.
I ate a Tide Pod, Lisa. Like I can just tell right now that syncs up. Like
Yeah.
I do just love like when people take shit from like movies and TV
Yes.
and like recaption the gifs in ways that it like it works with the mouth movements. Like I do remember like an entire set that somebody did with the film adaptation of Les Miserables from a couple of years ago with
The musical with Anne Hathaway.
with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway. Yeah, and it's like Russell Crowe's character. It's like he was saying like scum like you, and then like they recaption it's like I'm black yo. Like they recaption like they did an entire set of like recaptionings of that movie, and it's like all of them are hilarious, but that's just the one that sticks in my mind where he's like I know that song and I know what he's trying to say, but he's just saying I'm black yo. It's so dumb and I love it.
I just love memes, honestly.
Those good memes.
Yes,
Jack and I were talking about like there's going to be an obvious 2000s revival very soon in like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, 90s revival is already coming up, and soon early 2000s revival will be on its way, and everybody will be wearing baggy jeans.
Oh, yes.
Super crisp, clean white Nike sneakers, and like fuzzy bucket hats.
Yes.
But the 2010s revival is just going to be memes.
It's it's like the 2010s revival. I don't even know what it's going to be.
Anti-socialism and depression.
It's all references. It's all
Yes.
It's all reflections of reflections.
Yeah.
And so the 2010 revival is just going to be reflections of reflections of reflections, and I don't know what the fuck that's going to look like, but I'm enticed.
Reflexception.
It gives me a reason to live until 2050. I just want to see what this is going to be like.
The original thing that I could think of is like trap and dubstep.
Oh fuck no! Why can't we just leave that? Like
Dude.
that's just it's ruining my life.
That's a good point that you bring up, because trap and dubstep that's what's got us onto our early 2000s revival. We've already been bringing it back because you look at that stuff and then you realize how good early 2000s music was. So we've been, every time we have a party, we turn our friends' trap off and we start playing crunk.
But yeah, you could even say trap goes back to the 2000s with T.I. and
That's
some
true.
Atlanta rappers.
That's
you can
true.
see the seeds, but it came into its own like 2010 onward. Like
No one-
Little
like,
Uzi Vert is very 2010.
Yeah, when it became
No one
like
can
a
ever
household
beat my
name.
boy emo Neo.
Yeah.
Neo was so hurt.
Point is like you know,
Akon.
Yes, smack that.
Yeah.
People were definitely using like synths in the 70s, but it became distinctly 80s because it fully came into shape in the 80s and it became identified with that decade. The thing is, like, you know, like the 80s revival wave, Stranger Things and all that shit, like it started like at least 10 years ago, and like there have been like hit musicals that are like jukebox musical, like 80s jukebox musicals like Kinky Boots and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Brendan Urie.
now, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now I'm
Yeah, Killers, Arctic Monkeys,
Oh
Interpol.
yeah, the
Yeah.
hairstyle especially.
I mean like full blown like jukebox musicals that are like hits on Broadway and win Tonys that are just like using songs from the 80s like Cyndi Lauper and shit. Like Kinky Boots is mostly Cyndi Lauper. And so like I'm just wondering what it's going to be like. First the 90s wave, there's going to be like a jukebox grunge musical that wins a bunch of Tonys
Oh,
in
God.
like 5 or 6 years.
Jeez.
And then after that the 2000s the 2000s revival wave is going to come in.
A musical of the Black Parade.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be very MCR heavy.
Yes,
And
I'm fucking living for that. That gives me a reason to live until 2050.
Black Parade was made specifically with the prescience. Gerard Way had the prescience of mind to see like 20 or 30 years into the future and say like, someday this decade is going to be remembered with nostalgia for some reason, even though Bush is president.
Yeah.
So we better make a song that is pitch perfect for a jukebox musical specifically built around the music of this decade.
Oh, yes.
So that this song is the showstopper that wins a bunch of Tonys.
Yeah.
And then they made Black Parade, and that shit is going to be the fucking curtain call musical number. Everybody's going to get up and cheer after they do Black Parade. Like, I'm going to be in my 50s, and I'm going to be standing up like, yeah! Woo!
Emo music.
Yeah,
I'm going to be so nostalgic at that point. And, like,
Sugar going down. We're going down.
we're going down, in and around.
Sure you are going out swinging.
I
I'll
don't
be
even
a number one with a bullet.
You don't even want to talk about
Bullet.
Patrick Stump, if you're listening to this, I love you.
I'll be in my 50s.
I love you, Pete.
I'll be in my 50s in the future, assuming that I am financially well off enough to go see a hit Broadway show at that point. I believe in myself. I believe in my future. Things are going to turn around.
If not, then I'm mad as hell.
I'm going to be in the audience.
And I'm not going to take it.
Exactly. But I'm going to be in the audience, and I'm be like, I still don't know what the fuck they're saying, and I still don't care. That is not stop that fucking money.
My friends and I were actually just having a conversation earlier. Is Pete Wentz a person of color? Because have you seen his baby pictures? Like he looks like a non-person.
He may have like Middle Eastern ancestry somewhere in there.
Let's look that
or
up,
like Latino,
actually.
probably.
All I know,
Yeah.
all I know is that what's the other one's name? Ed Sheeran. All I know is that Ed Sheeran is some sort of he's some sort of starchy tuber. As a person. Oh, you know what? I was about to say he was a potato, but come to think
That too.
His music is.
Come to think of it, he's actually ginger. He is.
Okay,
he is
but
just a
listen.
hunk of ginger, like the actual ginger that you get.
Oh my fucking
that
God.
you get at a farmer's market. He is just a hunk of ginger. That's also a ginger person, and now he's singing songs about how much sex he has, and nobody believes him.
Okay, he's Afro-Jamaican. Pete Wentz is Afro-Jamaican.
Whoa.
Yes, bitch.
You heard it
What
here.
percentage? Give me a percentage.
Yeah.
Okay, he is of English and German descent on his father's
that makes
side.
sense. That makes sense.
And Afro-Jamaican on his mother's side.
All
See,
right.
even Ian's looking this up right now.
We are fact checking.
We gotta
right
double
now.
verify this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, this means I could totally marry Pete Wentz because I'm trying to marry a man of color. Sorry, Vaughn.
That's all right. I forgive you.
You can just.
Vaughn is partially a man of color, mostly white, but
Yeah,
still.
Vaughn.
She
I mean,
calls
like
me
any
Hebrew
year now,
chocolate.
you're going to be able to marry two people, like right?
Brother
Yeah,
husband.
any minute
Brother
now.
husband.
Any minute now.
Vaughn-
They're already trying to pass
Vaughn,
it in Ireland, so.
Exactly.
Just claim to be related to Tommy Wiseau. Nobody knows.
No.
Nobody knows
anything
that fool
about it.
ugly.
Nobody knows what nationality he is. Nobody even knows what age he is.
Nobody knows.
So you can
Yeah.
claim that shit and you can just be
Wait,
anything.
can you look up his
Boom.
Wikipedia to see how old he is?
I think if you claim to be related to Tommy Wiseau,
Tommy
you don't.
Wiseau.
I think if you claim to be related to him, you don't even have to pay taxes because
Yeah.
it's just like. It's just like that squiggly line, you know, in your eye. Like you try to look directly at it, and it always just moves so that you can never look directly at it. Tommy Wiseau is that of people.
Yeah.
Nobody,
That bitch.
Yeah.
nobody can ever look directly at him or get all the answers. So if you claim to be related to him, you
Look
can,
at how
you can
short his little biography
you
thing
can
is
declare
on the corner.
exactly. There's no information.
He's really secretive. It says
Yeah,
like,
you can declare any race. You can declare any background. You can declare any
Is he a
age.
Russian
It
spy?
doesn't matter.
It says in interviews following the release of The Room, he gave an age which would indicate he was born in 1968 or 1969. So, like, almost 50 years old now.
Yeah, my ass. He was almost 50 when he made The Room.
Yeah, when he
although-
claimed that he was like 20 years old, like, nah,
Although-
bitch,
although-
I'm 20.
He still looks pretty much the exact same age as when he made The Room in the
Yeah.
late 90s.
Yeah,
So,
2002.
So I've heard people
he
call
might
Fred.
be ageless. I don't know.
I've heard people
He's a
call
fucking
Fred Armisen
vampire.
white, and like he kind of is, but he actually has Venezuelan and Korean ancestry. I was
He's
a little bit
white
surprised to
passing.
find that
Yeah,
out.
He's
Yeah.
white passing.
Fred Armisen is a mixed
that's a
gentleman.
thing.
Yeah.
Mixed gentleman.
Yeah, but okay, so I feel like we can reasonably establish that,
What if-
that Tommy Wiseau is ageless
Okay.
and without backstory. So, have you guys ever heard of the relatively obscure DC Comics supervillain Vandal Savage?
No.
No.
Who okay, so like he was a caveman with long billowing hair, and then he found like an asteroid with some weird element in it, and he touched it, and it gave him everlasting life. And so he's been living throughout the ages in secret, learning all kinds of shit. And so like he's a super genius, and he has all these amazing skills, but he always keeps a low radar. So what I'm saying is, what if Tommy Wiseau is Vandal Savage, and like his act as the Tommy Wiseau persona, making The Room and such, is his way of like making himself known, but also like in a way hiding in plain sight, keeping a low profile while he plots to destroy the world and conquer it as he has since the Neolithic era.
Oh, no. What if Tommy was so secret to his to the suspending of his age is consuming Tide Pods.
No. Why? Why is this?
How long ago were Tide Pods invented and introduced? That's my question.
That's the thing we don't
I think
know.
the dishwashing pods came before the Tide Pods.
Which came first, the Tide Pods or the dishwashing pods?
Oh, now that's the real question.
The real, all right,
But-
to any of the
Wait a minute,
listeners out there.
wait a minute. Which came first, Tommy Wiseau or the dishwasher pods? What if they're his eggs? What if we don't put them in
He
hot?
lays Tide Pods.
The only way to stop them from hatching is to put them in hot water. Excuse me.
or on your pizza.
To put them in hot water.
Hot water.
I burped.
Boston.
I burped. Sue me. What if the only way to
Sue me.
What if the only way to stop Tommy Wiseau's eggs from hatching is to put them in hot water? And we just keep doing it because we think that's what they're for. And all the while Tommy Wiseau's like, oh no, my children. And he's just waiting for one of them to go untouched so that they can hatch and create a new generation of Tommy Wiseau's that will conquer the world. Have you seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
But if these Tide Pods are his eggs, and that meme where it's like, I ate a Tide Pod, Lisa, he ate his fucking children. Like he's a cannibal.
Titus Andronicus.
Dun dun
This
dun.
is literally turned into.
Wait a minute. Now I just want to see Tommy Wiseau do Shakespeare. Like if he ate a Tide Pod and Tide Pods are indeed his unborn children, then he did kind of do Titus Andronicus. So now I just want to see him do all the Shakespeare plays, playing all the parts.
Yes.
Two Gentlemen of Verona, both gentlemen, Tommy Wiseau.
My friend said he wanted to reenact Silence of the Lambs, like as a play, in which he plays both Buffalo Bill and Hannibal Lecter.
They're never on stage together, so that could
Exactly.
definitely work.
Yes.
Yeah.
But honestly, who the fuck really would want to be Clarice? Like, she gets cum-shotted on. Like,
Hands
That's
up
the
right
money
here.
shot.
Y'all can't see me raising my hand very quickly.
but
Yeah,
you'll
you're-
gladly take a cum shot as Clarice.
You're telling me
It's
you wouldn't
props.
take a you wouldn't,
It's stage magic, woman.
you
That's
wouldn't take
disgusting.
you wouldn't take a fake cum shot for like a cult classic movie.
What if it wasn't fake?
Yeah,
What
I
if
would
it
take a
wasn't
real
fake?
cum shot for that, man. I don't
What
care.
the fuck?
People love that movie.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no
Mom.
one needs to know. No one knows.
All
It could be a Tide Pod liquid.
All I know is I would take a million cum shots to play any Jodie Foster role. I'm just telling you right now. Dr. Lecter.
Yeah,
I
basically,
don't have any lines memorized. Ian, look up some choice quotes from Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs, and I'll read them in my Jodie Foster Clarice voice.
Goodbye,
basically, it's just going to turn into Tide Pods. As we saw,
Wild horses.
first it was Rick Rolling, and then it was All Star by Smash Mouth, and now it's just going to be Tide Pods, and it's Yvonne is going to serve as the All Star of Tide Pods.
Yeah, you guys have seen like all the choice edits out there of All Star by Smash Mouth, like
Yeah.
like the one where somebody just like cut it so it's like somebody once asked, could I spare some change for gas? I need to get myself away from this place. I said no. And then it's just like a minute and a half of instrumental after that. So it's just like his singing.
I said no.
I said no. And it's like, it's very sharply cut. It's like, I said no. It's like from a different part in the song where he says no. It's like,
This
I
is
said
the
no.
this is the
I like-
remix that Jack and I need to make.
I like the
No, somebody made it. It's out there.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I like the one where the whole song is just somebody, 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 somebody.
Wait a minute. Wait a
My
minute.
favorite as a music production nerd is when somebody makes All Star, but all the notes are C. It sounds so creepy.
What does that mean?
Somebody once asked, could I spare some change for gas? Like it's,
So it's like every note he sings and every note that's played is the same exact
it's
note.
pure monotone all the way through.
fuck.
But like, I think my
So
favorite.
it's like Tommy Wiseau
Yeah.
singing All Star.
I think my favorite, which Ian will probably get right away, is is someone getting the best, 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 the best,
The best of you.
Whoa!
Asbestos.
Somebody got the best of Dave Grohl.
I don't know if I
That
mentioned before, but my voice is trashed.
That doesn't help at all.
Thank you, Dave Grohl.
All right, this is a good monologue right here.
Hello.
Do you want me to do the Hannibal Lecter?
Oh yeah. Wait a minute, no, I'll do both. Because I'm that voice acting bitch. You know what you? Oh shit!
I'm that voice acting.
I need a drink.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
I can fix a drink.
No! I just did the Foo Fighters thing, so I need a moment.
I don't
should've
know
brought
why
some
I'm
water
crying
down
in the
there.
club right now.
I should have, but we've established that I don't plan ahead. That's my character, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so I'm reading Dr. Hannibal Lecter and then also Clarice Starling. Keep in mind, my voice is absolutely shot. I did not do it any favors so far, so here we go. You know what you look like to me, with your good bag and your cheap shoes. You look like a rube, a well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition's giving you some length of bone, but you're not more... I'm not reading ahead at all. I'm just reading it.
But you're not more than...
But you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you, Agent Starling? And that accent you've tried so desperately to shed. Pure West Virginia. What is your father, dear? Is he a coal miner? Does he stink of the lamp? You know how quickly the boys found you. All those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars, while you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the FBI. You see a lot, Doctor. But are you strong enough to point that high-powered perception at yourself? What about it? Why don't you look at yourself and write down what you see? Or maybe you're afraid to.
Can you do an Obama impression?
Can you do one of Buffalo Bill's lines? Put the lotion in the basket.
Oh man.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard.
Fuck.
Oh hey. Yeah, basically that white trash section that is from Hannibal Lecter's line.
Pure West Virginia.
That is how Yvonne talks to white people. By the way,
What do you mean? What the fuck?
Coal miner's daughter.
you're nothing short of white trash.
Do you just like stand perfectly still and not blink with your hands folded, like behind plate glass, just like pure West Virginia?
Yes,
I
whenever
bet you voted for Donald Trump, eh?
Yeah.
whenever Vaughn
What about
takes,
your father? Was he a
whenever
coal
Vaughn-
miner? Did he stink of the lamp?
Whenever Vaughn takes me to family reunions, he has to put me in that stretcher thing that Hannibal Lecter's in with the face
gets the
mask so I
straight
don't
jacket.
bite
Yes,
people's
yes,
faces.
So much mayonnaise, not enough people.
Exactly.
He has to put you behind the plate glass and shit.
Yes. Yes. And they're like, and his family members are like, "Can we touch her?"
Yeah. It's like, oh, you don't want to do that.
I ate his
yeah.
liver with some fava beans, nice Chianti, and I put seasoning on it. She uses seasonings.
I've already told Vaughn I refuse to eat his family's tamales. Like, I will not eat a tamal made by a white man.
You mean like just some Wonder Bread with like some like
With beef.
some beanless chili, just
Some
spread
frozen
off
corn.
and-
It's a Wonder Bread with like meatloaf on it. Ugh.
Oh, we don't have any sour cream, but we got ranch. Is that
No.
okay?
I suddenly have like PTSD.
Yeah. To clear the air, her brother loved it.
Clarice,
That's
My
that's
brother's
my
assimilated too hard.
just a little too hard. Gotta take a step back.
We used to have Hispanic neighbors that made tamales for us at Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, they were almost like another set of grandparents to
Yeah,
us.
almost straight up.
Yeah,
Pretty
they do.
much.
You cannot go over there without eating They'll be like, "Are you
Oh
hungry?"
yeah, they would twist
Yeah.
your arm into eating anytime we went over there.
Yeah, they're like, "Are you hungry?" And you're like, "No." And they're like, "You're gonna eat."
Yeah, like
You're so skinny. Come on, eat some.
I was a little chubby kid, and they were like, come on, eat. I was like, okay. But then, like, I grew up, and, like, I started stretching out, and I got a little bit thinner, and they were like, oh, you're so thin, you gotta eat. I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to get away from that. Fuck,
They gave us
okay.
lemons all the time, too. They had a
Oh,
lemon
Yeah,
tree.
they would let us just, like, hop their fence and just go and pick lemons.
Aw.
So we would just pick lemons all the time. And, you know,
B and
yeah.
Everett Hernandez. Everett passed away.
Yeah, Everett passed away last year. We went to a service down the road that way and just said hi to B.
Was it at a Catholic church?
No, it wasn't. It was,
Wow.
yeah, I know. I'm surprised.
I think they had the funeral at a church
Yeah.
probably, but this was like a reception sort of thing.
it was a
more
reception.
joyous.
It was
Okay.
it was like at a restaurant. It was like at an
A restaurant.
at like an Italian restaurant. They like rented out like the entire like back room.
It
Did they
was
bring-
like the second service.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
So they didn't
Yeah.
have like the body or anything. At
No,
the
no,
restaurant?
no, like
No,
the
of course not.
Yeah, the funeral was a separate thing, and this was like just a reception thing where there was like food
yeah.
and talking and like joy and stuff and fun.
Kind of like a celebration of life type of thing.
yeah. That was that, and then like the funeral was more like all the heavy shit.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so we went to that. We said hi to B, who was, like no joke, basically our like third grandma. So we just said hi to her and
Aw.
got caught up, and it's probably like the most wholesome grandparents relationship that we have. Our grandparents don't listen to this. We're fine. We're in the clear.
I'm scared whoever's going to listen to this. They're going to be like, that girl Yvonne, she's racist!
But all your friends call you racist anyways.
Oh my god, that's not
Call out post!
Yeah, this is not a call out. By the way, racism is systematic. I am not the system, so I technically cannot be racist. I guess a discriminatory or prejudice thing.
I mean,
but
I
that
get
does not
that,
make me
but
racist.
like, I'm not saying you are, but you can be prejudiced against white people,
Yes.
even if it's not racism.
Exactly, yeah. You
Guys,
can be prejudiced
yeah.
and you can be
And there
stereotypical
is-
and discriminatory,
I don't
but
think
it's not racism.
I don't think any time in like the next couple hundred years there's going to be any kind of prejudice against white people that can be considered racism. Like,
Yeah.
maybe the entire paradigm shifts in like 200 or 300 years, but like for the foreseeable future, like you can like have resentment against white people, but I don't see that being considered racism at this point.
Yeah,
like,
in
there's no way.
3 or 4 generations, we're going to be a minority in a lot of the U.S. I know that.
Yeah,
Well, technically, you already are. There's more.
In California, we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
in general,
still,
in the U.S., there are more like people of color than there are white people.
yeah, at this point, yeah,
Yeah, but-
like, if you weigh like all of the demographics against white people, then yeah, we're definitely like way outweighed. So it's basically just a matter of time until we're like no longer a majority in government, and then
The revolution.
and then it's all over for us. Heads on pikes, the full 9 yards.
to the enslavement of white people.
Yeah, that's fair.
We deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, like Thomas Jefferson.
No, I mean the thing I hate is when people say like, "Oh, we're the majority minority or whatever the fuck," and I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Like really? Can you just
Yeah.
like shut the fuck up?
Like,
I'm Irish, so I'm a minority. Don't you get it?
yes, exactly.
dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I'm Irish. We are the most oppressed of our kind. It's like fuck
Yeah,
you. Don't talk to me.
yeah,
Don't
I've-
look at me.
I've talked to people who are like very, very Irish, like all their family,
Irish.
like they arrived in America adrift, like their family arrived in America adrift on a log. And
Yo.
then they're like all their Irish descendants, like all their Irish ancestors married other Irish people, and everybody was super Irish, super pasty and pie-faced, and just so like just hard red knuckles everywhere. It's just like you're super
Yo.
Irish, and they're just like, yeah. When people talk about that shit, when they're like, they're like 12% Irish, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna pop you one for talking
Like
shit
when
like that.
people say-
Like, I'm so Irish, I'm practically see-through, and I'm even saying fuck you.
Pinche
Like,
gringos.
oh yeah, They went so far Irish that they went all the way around and revolved back to Mexican.
There's like an Irish population in Mexico too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all mutts, really.
Yeah, and like there is overlap. You can revolve so far around Irish that you come back around Mexican, or vice versa. You revolve so far around Mexican that you come back around Irish.
Well, it's true though too. Like the accordion, like literally landed in Mexico because Germans came to Mexico. That's why you hear
Germans.
That's why you hear the accordion in banda.
Yeah, true.
I saw El Grupo in Tocable at the Del Mar Fair once. Their accordion players shred so much.
Yes, dude.
Like their intros, it sounds like an old heavy metal song. Like it sounds like Queensryche, and then it goes like straight into the mariachi.
You know what that guy was listening to? He's just in the band because they needed somebody. He was all like, I'm all about that prog. He's like,
Really,
it was a
Vaughn, you should
Queensryche
have an
cover
accordion
band.
in your band.
You should. Accordion and
You need
bagpipes.
diversity.
And
You're in an all-white band. You need
Dude,
diversity.
Are you still doing Illuminate?
We're actually bringing that back very soon, yeah.
Their drummer's so cute. Oh my god, he's like 16. He looks like my little brother. He's so cute. Like I just want to adopt him. But his
guys
friend,
adopt him.
yes, please.
Together.
No, I'm adopting him. I'm fighting custody
Alone?
for him right now. Yes.
You're fighting Vaughn for custody.
Yes, I'm fighting Vaughn for custody and his
She's
bandmate.
fighting our singer. She's fighting our singer. I have okay. I have accepted the fact that he has parents already, but
I've accepted
But
the
my-
unfortunate truth that he
Don't
has
tell
a
him we're
family.
recording
My singer-
this. He's
yeah.
gonna not want to talk to me ever
my
again.
singer
Too
and
bad, it's
Yvonne
on
have not
tape.
accepted that, and they want to fight for custody.
Yes, like
Yeah, I'm chill
I
with him being with his own parents.
I have a certificate in child development. I've been working with kids since 2012.
I am ready to handle this 18-year-old boy.
Yes, I am ready to have him welcome into our home.
I will give him what he needs. He will flourish in this home.
Exactly.
Flourish, I tell you.
He will be an exceptional young man.
And all because I sold my sperm.
But
Time loop, he's secretly my son.
I got rejected from donating eggs, to be honest. Yeah, they didn't take my fucking eggs because I'm short. They were like,
Dude.
yeah, they're like, you need to be at least 5'2", and I'm like, I'm 5'1".
Dude, next, go to a different clinic. Put some fucking
my
rolled up
eggs.
paper towels in your shoes, and just cross the cutoff. Also, like, not to say that fertility center like collection systems are racist, but they're fucking racist.
Oh no, they are. They're
definitely
are.
racist.
Definitely, because they on a lot of the ads they'd be like, "Oh, we want East Indian or Pakistani donors," and I'm like, I can pass as that, but they do the DNA test.
I gotta fudge my last name, but I can do this.
Yes. Well, I actually nanny for a Pakistani family, so I'm like, all right, teach me some Urdu right quick.
Yeah.
But no, like they do DNA tests, so it's like, all right, this says like you're like 100% Mexican. Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm from Pakistan.
Man. I don't know. Do the test again.
Yeah, try it.
Hey, could somebody like do some stuff for me in a cup? Just it's
Please.
nothing. It's nothing. Just do this for me, and we'll be square. All right.
But yeah,
What I've thought about is like how much I could make on Mechanical Turk if I wasn't white, because they want more people who are Hispanic or African American.
mechanical what?
Mechanical Turk, it's how I make a lot of my money. It's hosted by Amazon. You make money taking surveys, doing data entry, YouTube content moderation. For the surveys, they want people who aren't white.
Why?
Because like there's a lot of white people on the service.
Just whatever you do, it's run by Amazon. So whatever you do, just don't work in their warehouse. Just don't work in their warehouse, or they'll beat the shit out of you.
Literally, Vaughn.
I did work in their warehouse for some time, yeah. That place, I won't get too much into it because I'm sure they'll put a hit on me. But,
Dude,
With their Amazon drones.
yeah, with their drones.
We're listening.
I've heard shit on This American Life. Myra Glass. So yeah, like you can't surprise us at this point. Just tell us first person like what's up.
Yeah, that's definitely, if you work for Amazon in their warehouse, you kind of realize, like, yeah, they're gonna automate our positions as soon as they can. As
Yep.
soon as they got the robots, this is gonna
Yeah,
be the
they've already
first
got like
company.
some robots carrying packages.
And
for
I
the
know
time,
one girl.
for the time being, they're just going to treat you like a robot.
Exactly. So that's pretty much my input on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. I sort of know one girl who's working in Amazon warehouse right now, and she's like having health problems, like she's
Oh,
inhaling
no.
fumes. there.
Yeah, no shit.
yeah.
Dude.
Oh my god!
Until
what the fuck?
until they can build a robot that can do the warehouse runner job, they're just gonna build a robot that can beat the shit out of the warehouse runners when they pass out on the job. Welcome to the
no.
capitalist hellscape, everybody. This is our reality.
Welcome to Skynet.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, like a couple years ago, like when I was keeping in touch with like all my friends on Skype back before Skype, stopped. I don't know if
Before
Skype's
FaceTime
Skype's still
took
around, but
over.
people don't use it.
yeah,
really.
Yeah.
yeah. So Skype stopped basically.
Yeah.
It only works as long as people fucking use it. So like,
They'll get rid
Back
of it
then-
just like AIM.
I think it
back-
stopped once people started having Skype sex.
yeah, it stopped. It was like a fairy. It stopped once we all stopped believing in it. By which I mean fucking using it as a service. But like, yeah, back then when I was keeping in touch with everybody through Skype, for a while there, I changed my username to Skynet. And so like, like when you got the notice like this person is online, you got the notice Skynet is online.
Oh my
and like I got messages from people like, you bastard. I got chills when I first saw that after you changed your name, you son of a bitch. And I was like, dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I was like, oh, it was so fun.
It's like when people figured out how to actually use their routers and they renamed them FBI surveillance van.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. Have you like seen like one of the Wi-Fi's like in our neighborhood is named Bill Nye the Science, like Bill Y the Science Fi.
That's great. I haven't noticed that though.
It's like it comes and goes. I think
Because
it's,
I don't use Wi-Fi on this
I think
computer.
it's like just on the edge of our range because it comes and goes. But like every once in a while when I'm like restarting the Wi-Fi, it just says Bill Y the Science Fi. Bill. Somebody stop me. I'm not going to stop on my own. Bill.
Stop.
Bill.
Next
Okay,
up.
thank you for freeing me from
Yeah.
the loop. I was pretty honest with my family's medical history, including like all the like when I was doing my like all the copious like labyrinthine paperwork for selling your sperm. Like I was fairly honest with my family's medical history, including like all the shit with my mom and her chronic illness, which all signs point to it being hereditary. I was fairly honest with all that, but like, they didn't ask, like, nothing in the paperwork specifically asked about mast cell activation disorder. So like I answered as honestly as I could, but like there wasn't that much I could do. And so like they were still like, yeah, you're over 6 feet, you're white, you got dark hair, you're reasonably fit, sell your seed.
So you see.
And like, I to a certain extent I do have a guilt complex about like, passing on like the potential of like the kind of shit that my mom has gone through and to a certain extent Ian has gone through. But like my rationale, like, and we've talked about this to a certain extent on the show, like my rationale is basically that like, no kid is going to be like even potentially like, they like somebody would have to like choose me from like the entire bank of like all these people, like hundreds if not thousands of people to choose from. Somebody would have to choose me, and that's not even going to happen anytime in the next 6 months. And then after that it's another 9 months, so it's like over a year from now is like the soonest anybody could have a kid from the seed that I sell. and so like even then, like it's probably going to be like until they're like a young adult that any real issues come about. And it's like by that point I have at least a reasonable amount of faith that like we'll have enough of a handle on all these health issues that like it won't be an issue. So that's like, how I made peace with that. And also you got to make your money in this world. So
like the thought I had when I found out you were doing it, I personally wouldn't because of the health issues I've had.
yeah, I get that. And I have felt conflicted about it on and off like throughout the whole time.
But
So.
what I was thinking was that if science doesn't progress and mast cell activation isn't curable, and like some seed in like a 1 in 100 chance is taken from you, and it develops these issues. Like, somebody who's going to a sperm bank is probably like financially successful enough to take care of a sick kid.
Oh yeah, dude, I've looked into it, and like the amount of money that it costs to like get an in vitro fertilization is insane. So anybody who's like even considering that as a realistic option, especially since like often it takes more than one try, like they're well off enough that like even if it isn't manageable, like, you know, in the future, which I still hold out hope that it definitely will be by the time any child comes of age, that they like have any kind of health problems from this, potentially even like, even if so, like, that person is definitely going to be financially well off enough to handle it, even if it isn't as manageable as I believe it's going to be when the time comes.
Yeah, you guys hear about the what was he? The NFL personnel. I forget what his position was, but he was demanding that in his contract he gets the best like healthcare deal possible, just included into his contract. And it's like, when you're making that much money, like as your position,
like higher ranking in the NFL, like not necessarily a coach, but like up there and
huge.
rank.
No, he was up there. He was very up there. Yeah, it would be good to look up. And it's like, when you're making that much money, you don't need free health insurance, and you don't need free best health insurance.
You need free health insurance after you're done in the NFL. I would request it for life. Because like you're likely to develop CTE, like 75% of players or something develop a traumatic brain disorder that like will kill them early.
But if you're like somebody who works in the NFL, not as a player, not having all those injuries,
that's what I'm saying.
So like if you're like earning like crazy amounts of money, like 6 or 7 figures and up, like, you shouldn't really be like that worried about free healthcare for yourself. You should just be like passing that down to the people who work under you, because like they're gonna be fucked. Like people who are earning like 4 or 5 figures,
right? Yeah,
like that's just gonna be rough for them.
And sports jobs are really coveted too. Like it's hard to break your way into that nowadays.
Remember in like the 30s and 40s when bat boys were literally just 12-year-old kids who lived near the stadium? And you could just like get a job as a bat boy.
Now they're in their 30s
for Babe Ruth. Now they're in their 30s and they're professionals and they went to college and shit.
And they're like, oh, I'm sure I'm going to break my way into statistics eventually. This is just a stepping stone.
There's a fucking qualification barrier for fetching bats for baseball players. Right. It's ridiculous. Yeah, things have taken quite a couple turns while you've been in the bathroom.
Yeah. Man,
it started with eating Tide Pods to now bat catchers.
Welcome to the podcast. This is how it works here.
That's why I was so surprised that the cheerleaders make almost minimum wage sometimes.
That's fucking insane.
Even when the players are making millions on signing contracts.
Like cheerleading, like that's. Haven't they seen the Bring It On movies? That is a straight up athletic event.
Right.
It is a sport in and of itself. Maybe not quite as celebrated as all these other sports, but they should be treated as professional athletes to a certain extent, like at least compensated.
Hell yeah! Everyone fucking loves the Chargers girls. Like, remember that one time? It was like probably like last year where this dude was like working. Here. When they were working, this dude was like working security, like at the game, and he fucking straight up started jacking off in front of the cheerleaders.
One of the guys who was working security did this?
Yes.
He was not only not doing his job, he was doing the exact opposite of his job.
Yes, like in front of the cheerleaders, like
Jesus Christ.
And someone in the crowd. Yeah, he thought he was discreet.
No one knows.
So the guy whose job it was to spot people who were a problem didn't think anybody would spot the problem when he was just jerking it.
And he was on the field.
Like, where are they?
He was on the field.
God. He was on the field.
Like in front of the cheerleaders.
Dude, seriously? They're fully clothed. Get your shit together.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude, like, you needed to get laid. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't care what your impulses are. Hold your shit together.
Exactly.
Get on the trolley. Go home. Open up your computer and deal with it like a normal person in private.
Yeah, for real.
Stop making it other people's problems, Todd. I assume his name's Todd. Sorry, Todds out there. You're probably cool. I don't know you.
That makes me think, like, I wonder if costume characters have jacked off under the costume. I haven't done this, nor would I, but I was an Easter Bunny character.
Oh yeah, I remember this. You used to be the Easter Bunny.
I was an Easter Bunny at the Navy Exchange, and I made like $12 an hour or something. But it was ridiculously hot in there.
bad.
You kind of lost your mind while you were in there. So like somebody of less resolve could have like been led to jacking off while in that costume. Yeah, I only made like $150 total though. I ran into an issue
part time, I'm sure, but like
I
still.
ran into an issue with the Navy ID, so I didn't get as many hours as I was thinking I would.
Yeah.
I only worked there for about 3 weeks a month.
Knowing that you've done that job and you've suffered through it, like even then, with my sympathy and everything, if I saw an Easter Bunny in the suit jerking it and like I'm taking my niece and nephew, I'm still gonna body slam that fucking Easter Bunny.
And you probably fucking smell like sweat and cum afterwards. Like,
oh, salty baby batter.
ew. And it's like, and where do you put that shit anyways? Like, you can't take your sock
In
off.
the suit.
There's no way.
It's
You
a
can't-
white suit. It's a white costume. He's a
But
white
it's not
rabbit.
fucking
It's going to be
sticky.
smelly already.
Oh fuck. And they're-
spaghetti.
You
They
turned
don't
it.
wash
You turn
these.
it in. They're like, oh, why did it stink so bad? I don't know. That's just how you gave it to me.
Why is it crusty? It's full of Easter spirit. Why is the tail so hard? You ever see Peter Cottontail? You know the bad guy, Iron Tail? It's crusty. Iron Tail. Okay, wait.
You know bunnies fuck all the time.
Yeah, all the time. I was immersed in my character as a bunny who fucks all the time.
I was not Ian anymore. I was the Easter Bunny.
I was the Easter Bunny, and I know that my lifespan is only.
I was the alpha bunny.
Yes.
My lifespan is only a couple of years, so I had to procreate so that I would be able to sire a new generation of Easter bunnies.
It was a life or death situation.
Literally life or death. Every day is life or death, or if you're a bunny. That's why they fuck all the time.
Exactly.
Okay, but Ian, you remember the fucking Rankin Bass claymation Peter Cottontail movie, and how fucking terrifying the villain Irontail was.
that scared me for years, dude.
I'm still fucking. Do you guys know what we're talking about?
No.
I can pull up the video.
Yeah. Okay. So you know, like the fucking Rankin Bass stop motion cartoons, like Rudolph. They mostly did them for Christmas, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
So like the
Santa Claus is coming
claymation
to town.
stuff?
Yeah, the stop motion claymation shit. They did one for Easter called Peter Cottontail, and the villain was called Irontail because it was Peter Cottontail, and then the villain was Irontail, and like he was like if Vincent Price was a rabbit. But also, claymation is automatically terrifying. So, Vincent Price plus Anthro plus claymation is just horrible. There's always a condescending narrator in every one of these Rankin Bass cartoons.
He looks like that
He's always
guy.
just talking down to you like, oh, you've never heard this story? Yeah. Oh, you fucking idiot.
He looks like
Oh,
that.
there he is.
He looks like that guy on the bag of crackers.
Irontail looks like fucking Hitler as a rabbit. I'm not even kidding.
It'll scare a 3-year-old.
Like Hitler touring France after he's conquered it, like looking through
Oh, no.
Arc de Triomphe. That's Irontail. This guy's fucking
He looks
terrifying.
like he has a fucking butt plug.
Yeah, and now I know that with the gift of adult hindsight, but as a kid, this was just terrifying.
It was just a tail, not a steel butt plug.
It was just Vincent Price Hitler rabbit.
Wearing leather gloves.
Leather gloves for strangling children's dreams. Because I'll kill all of them. And he rides a fucking bat.
What the fuck?
Yeah, fucking Rankin Bass. They were on some weird shit. Ah! No! No! Okay? You did not surprise me with fucking Irontail. That is not how you do this shit. You're my brother!
We were already playing Irontail.
I know, but like, he was gone. And
that
then you
was-
cut to it.
It
and
was
I
his
like, no.
trigger. He's triggered.
I am triggered. I am hella triggered by fucking Irontail.
Triggered much, Snowflake?
Yeah! I am triggered.
Oh no! Now you just need the fedora, like just tilted a little.
That actually sounds pretty rad. I want a different holiday for chocolate tarantulas and octopuses. That sounds pretty rad. kind of like a summer holiday. It's like Easter has the spring,
Summer in July. Christmas in July.
Christmas has the winter. Easter has spring. So like, let's just turn off fucking Iron Tail. Turn him the fuck off. Like
I'm calling the fucking U.S. Army.
National Guard come in and take his ass out. Hey, SEAL Team 6, you got Osama. Come and get Iron Tail.
You can't kill me. I'm a bad bitch.
There he goes. There goes Iron Tail. Sorry, but like no joke. Like one of my like dreams as like a full blown adult in a couple of years when I have money is like I want to just like invent a holiday and have it like catch on. Like I guess I'll just like do it with my kids first, and then like all of our friends and family and shit.
Abraham Lincoln did it.
And wait, what? Wait, he invented a holiday?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did he invent Christmas?
He's the one that declared Thanksgiving a holiday.
Oh shit! Well, shit. Never mind.
Yeah.
Wasn't he an early proponent of time zones too?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Abraham Lincoln.
I'm not sure.
Wait, no, that was Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, that was Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. Have you seen what's that one? National Treasure, whatever that one movie was with.
We must steal the Declaration of Independence.
I'm gonna teabag the Magna Carta.
Have you guys seen that one movie where Nicolas Cage like wants to be a vampire so bad? And he like goes around like kills people like by biting them in the neck so hard they bleed out. Then he tries to drink their blood, but he just ends up throwing up because it's so gross. Because he's trying to get with this vampire lady who like will not turn him into a vampire because he's pathetic.
I feel like I saw this movie.
Yeah, it has like 2 stars.
I also feel like it was Jim Carrey and it was a comedy. This does not sound like a comedy.
No, this was a dead ass movie.
Jesus Christ. I want to see it now.
It was so bad, but my mom and I watched it.
Of course it was bad, but I want to see it.
My mom and I watched it because she thinks Nicolas Cage is like so hot. So we watched it. Yeah, like honestly,
Why?
everyone except people in the U.S. think that Nicolas Cage is hot. Like for real. I don't fucking know.
We export movies with our hottest people in them.
And out of all people, yes, Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss. This is an old one, 1988.
There we go.
Oh shit! I do remember this. I remember now. But God, like, I going back, like looping all the way back to like when you said like you didn't really get the appeal of the room and it was white nonsense. Like
I didn't necessarily say white nonsense, but I mean, I like it.
I'm boiling down. I'm summarizing. Like I do just like I've grown into it as a grown man. I love bad movies.
Oh,
I love
Lord.
schlock. And one thing that I've learned in my love of schlock is that terrible movies are universal. No matter where you come from, no matter like what language you speak, no matter what cultural context or background you hail from, there will always be hilariously shitty movies that appeal specifically to you, and you just gotta look for them because it is always worth it, and they're always hilarious.
I couldn't even sit through that movie. Vaughn made me watch it, and he fucking fell asleep. And I was like, so you really just gonna fall asleep and make me watch the rest of this damn movie?
How far in did you fall asleep? Was it after the belly button fucking?
Yeah, it was
God.
after that. Oh man, have you seen the?
Well, I talked to the doctor. I definitely have breast cancer.
It's genius.
What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
what? Like,
That's
why? Like, I definitely have breast
That
cancer.
is some pretty universal schlock right there.
Yeah, you can't not love that. Like you're just
It is-
well then.
It is like a textbook case of hilariously bad filmmaking. But
yeah.
But point being, like, no matter where you look, like no matter where you hail from, there has been a shitty movie made where you hail from, and it's probably great. It's probably great to watch. Like there are a lot of great like schlocky Mexican movies from the 50s onward to like the 80s were so great because they just didn't give a fuck about genres.
Yeah.
Like you could have like aliens fighting robots, fighting fighting vampires, fighting luchadors, and like that was and it was also a musical, and that was most Mexican schlock for like 3 decades, and it was amazing.
I love luchadors. I love lucha libre. I literally want to be a WWE superstar.
Oh yeah, and also monsters. Like there would
Yes.
there would probably be like a Frankenstein or a Creature of the Black Lagoon in there in the mix, and it was also a musical.
Hey, at
And
least
also probably a dinosaur,
Like-
and also probably a cowboy. They just didn't give a fuck about genres. It was just everything in there at once, and it was amazing.
like The Shape of Water, where she.
I haven't seen it yet, but I so want to see The Shape of Water.
But you already know what happens, right?
I know that a lady fucks a fish.
Yes!
And I want to see it so bad!
I'm so fucking ready for the fish porn.
I want to see that fish stick go ham.
Dude, honestly, like, I watched it and I was in the theater and I was like, Vaughn, like, she fucked the fish. And it was like, babe, like,
See,
he's
Vaughn,
like,
that's how it's done.
Hey.
That's how it's done.
and Vaughn was like, babe, like, you gotta see past that. And I'm like, she fucked a fish. Like, he's like, you gotta see past it. Like, I see the message with it. It's like, you shouldn't care about people's physical attributes. And I'm like,
As long as they're not Michael Shannon.
Yeah, because I told her that I wasn't sold on the whole like.
promoting bestiality.
Yeah, of the whole
Hey,
bestiality
it's
angle,
an
but that's,
anthropomorphic sentient
Right,
being with
but-
thoughts and feelings.
but that-
which
yeah.
means you can fuck it.
yeah, that's not what the whole movie's about. But she was totally stuck on that. On that, she fucked.
empty.
As any,
All I've
she
gleaned,
fucked a fish.
Yeah, but
point
that's-
is, like, all I've gleaned from like the trailers and also just knowing Guillermo del Toro's whole
I
deal.
love him though. I fucking love him.
Just knowing his whole deal and seeing from the trailers, just like it's not about like it's not exclusively about like people's physical imperfections or like learning
Yeah.
about shit like that. It's like you see like a lot of people like see each other like for what makes them flawed or what makes them incomplete, whether it's
Like Beauty and the Beast.
whether it's physical or whether it's emotional or whether it's mental or whether it's like their ability to communicate, because like the protagonist, from what I've gleaned, is like literally mute, like she
Right.
can't speak. So it's like like people like see each other and value each other based on whether or not like how they see each other as incomplete. And it's like whether or not you're a fish monster, whether or not you're mute, you see each other like you don't see each other as how
You
you're.
just gotta fuck someone because you like who they are.
They don't see each other as incomplete. They just see
Right.
they just see each other as two beautiful people, whether they're a fish monster or just a normal human lady.
Human monster.
I did not call mute people monsters.
I did not mean that. but I meant,
you said it, not me. But like,
I-
it's just like a normal human lady who's mute, or like a fish monster man. It's like you don't see each other as incomplete. You just see each other as who you are. It's beautiful.
For the record, I
I
meant
love Guillermo del
human.
Toro.
I meant human monster, as in just like
Michael Shannon.
your average person that's a fucking monster, because all humans are fucking. All monsters
so-
are human.
so you mean-
American Horror
So
Story,
yeah,
folks.
Michael Shannon.
Is that the guy who plays a fish?
No, that's Doug Jones, and I love him. But like Michael Shannon, like from what I've seen from the trailers, he's like the director guy, like the guy who's like in charge, the boss in the suits and shit.
The guy. Oh
yeah,
my god,
the guy.
the guy with the fingers.
He was in Batman versus Superman too, right?
Yeah, he was in Man of Steel. He was General Zod. But like, shit. Like, okay, so yeah, you were mentioning the guy who played the Fishman, and like that's Doug Jones, and like,
Right.
like Guillermo del Toro fucking loves Doug Jones, arguably as much as he loves Ron Perlman.
Who's that?
He's the guy who played Hellboy, and like he's been in the Blade 2, which Guillermo directed, and like a Pacific Rim. Like he's been in like all kinds of shit. Guillermo fucking loves Ron Perlman.
He literally looks like Hellboy, like without the red makeup.
Which is why Guillermo cast him.
was like,
He
You
was
were
in Drive
so-
also.
yeah, I remember hearing like an anecdote from Guillermo del Toro where it's like, like I had my mind made up before they even let me make the movie. Like Ron Perlman was definitely going to be Hellboy, and so
What the fuck? Like this is unreal. What the
and it's
hell?
Like, and it's like he was saying like, yeah, but they
Yes!
but they
I'm like,
insist,
no, don't go back. I love him.
And it's like-
Yes.
It's like, yeah, but like they insisted that I do auditions anyway for like open auditions anyway, and I was like,
What?
and it's like, yeah, I had all these auditions, and it's like, yeah, you were great. Too bad
He
you're not
looks
Ron
like
Perlman.
fucking Wolverine.
It's like his mind was made up from the beginning. Like, yeah, he was gonna be Ron Perlman. But like, anyway, Doug Jones was like the fish
Right.
guy in Hellboy, and then he was also the fish guy in The Shape of Water.
He just loves fish.
Yeah, and like Guillermo del Toro, like, you know, Doug Jones is his suit guy. Like, whenever he needs to put somebody in like a suit and be like a gangly like performance shit, like he gets Doug Jones, which makes sense because like this guy like has a background in like mime and shit. Like he has like like he's a contortionist. Like any photo you see of him, he probably has like his head folded behind his.
Look him up.
He probably
Let's
has
see
like
if
his
we can
leg.
find him.
Like any photo you have him. His leg is probably folded behind his head. Like he's
So-
he's a contortionist and a mime, and so he's Guillermo del Toro's go-to guy for like all this perform. Now it's mostly photo results for like Doug Jones, the guy who beat Roy Moore in Alabama.
But this is the Doug Jones.
Yeah, this is the Doug Jones I'm talking about.
Does he also play the red guy in Insidious? No, probably not.
Probably not. That's not a Guillermo del
No,
Toro
that
joint.
dude's actually scary.
But like he was
in
also
real life.
like he was also in like Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, the guy with
like,
the...
he was like almost every like crazy suit thing in Pan's Labyrinth. Like he was the pale man with like
He looks
the
like
eyes
the
in his hands.
mask.
He was also like the fawn with like the goat shit. Like he was everything in Pan's Labyrinth. The thing is like his biggest role was as the fawn with like the goat head and shit. But the thing is like there was so much shit going on in that shoot. Like it was a super like hot suit to film in. Like it got super hot in there. It wasn't well ventilated. Like the one right next to that, like pull up the picture of him in the suit. Like yeah, that's him in the full makeup.
Jesus.
And like
yeah.
the ears and the eyes were all like mechanized. Like there was somebody with like a remote control off camera, like controlling how the ears and the eyes and the forehead moved because it was such heavy fucking makeup. So like, not only was it super hot, it was also loud because of all the fucking servos and shit moving the forehead and the ears. Yeah. So he couldn't hear a goddamn thing. And also like the fake eyes, he could only see through like these tiny little pinholes on the edges of the fake eyes in the makeup. Yeah. So he couldn't hear and he could barely see. And it was hot as hell, and he was wearing like these stilts so that he had these crazy goat legs. And like so all that shit was going on, and he had like all these like long lines to memorize. But the entire movie Pan's Labyrinth is in Spanish. Here's the crazy part.
He doesn't speak Spanish.
Doug Jones does not speak Spanish. So he had to phonetically memorize all of his lines and also the lines of the girl, like Olivia, the girl he was talking opposite with. So he had to phonetically memorize 2 sets of lines in a language he didn't speak, and then memorize like all of his blocking and shit so that he could move properly without being able to fucking see or hear anything. And like he had to phonetically memorize her lines as well so that he got the timing right, even though he couldn't hear her speaking. And then he had to phonetically memorize his so that he could actually say the lines. And he had to say it in the right amount of time. All while doing all this crazy, like, intricate physical performance. Anyway, Doug Jones is a fucking beast, and I love him, and I love Guillermo del Toro, and I love Ron Perlman, and I love Tom Waits.
Not to minimize it at all, but I'm sure he picked up some Spanish from that also, because Spanish is one of the easier languages to learn.
I'm sure he did after. I'm sure he did after the fact, but like during filming, like he didn't know shit. So he just had to memorize it and time it out right and perform physically and like all this crazy shit. So yeah,
like Jack Black for Nacho
boss.
Libre.
Oh
like he didn't speak Spanish, but he had to like memorize his lines like phonetically. Like I remember I think the part where he like probably fucked up the most though was the first wrestling match with him and Esqueleto, where Nacho tries to get Esqueleto to tag him in, and he's supposed to say like choca mi mano, and he says choca la mano. And it's like, what are you saying? Yeah. Like, he didn't even say it right at all. And I was like, dude, like, y'all gotta check your boy. Like,
I don't...
like, I appreciate well, actually, like, B for effort, but it could have been better.
Shame that it is. I still don't... I'm still not speaking Spanish at the level that I should. But, like, even I, like, saw that movie and I was like, chocolate manhole?
Yes, yes.
That's not Spanish, man. Get your shit together.
Exactly.
It's like, if you've grown up in SoCal, lived your entire life in SoCal, like even if you don't
Is
speak,
he from SoCal?
no, I mean like me personally, like if you've grown up in SoCal, like even if you don't speak Spanish, which you should get your shit together, Jack. Even if you don't speak Spanish,
It's 2018.
you at least know what it's supposed to sound
Yeah.
like.
Aprender español.
You know what it's supposed to sound like. So when you hear it and it's wrong, you're still like, I don't speak it, but goddamn, I know that's wrong.
Exactly.
I've been like using Duolingo a lot to learn Spanish, but I feel like I'm more strong with like reading it or typing it versus actually speaking it.
Well, yeah,
Right, yeah.
Well, like
It's
I'll have to
definitely
be
a lot of
immersed in it
practice.
more.
yeah. You don't roll your R. You don't roll your R's very well.
Damn.
Call
We're
my-
just
my-
exposing
shots.
everyone right
Yeah,
now.
my tongue doesn't work very well, so I can't roll my R's. I've tried different techniques, and I can't really. I can't whistle either.
Speaking of whistling, Vaughn and I like have been watching the Insidious movie like a lot. So he's been making me listen to that fucking
Tiny Tim.
Tiny
Tiptoe
Tim
through the
song,
tulips.
and
Genius.
we've listened to it so much that like
Wait a minute. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm assuming that you're talking about like the one from SpongeBob, where it's like tiptoe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
yeah. SpongeBob was
was having a wonderful
having a
time.
wonderful time. Yeah, this is a different one. But still,
But
yeah.
yeah, it is a tiptoeing one.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's the same musician.
Yes,
Yeah, it is
it's
the same
Tiny
guy.
Tim.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty identifiable.
But we listened to it so
No
much
shit.
that it made it onto our top 2017 songs on Spotify. So I was listening to
They
that
caught us.
playlist once while driving, like at night, and that song fucking came on. I was like, no,
No!
yeah, fuck that. I was like, hell no, that red motherfucker's gonna come out and like kill me.
You killed me in the Phantom Menace, and now I'm back.
Fuck no. I mean, Insidious was a really good movie, though. I really do like that movie
Yeah.
a lot.
Like the last 5 years have been like full of horror movies that like surprised me, because like the last 10 like 15 hell shit 20 25 years have been full of like very formulaic like predictable uninteresting horror movies.
Yeah.
And like in the last 5 years there have been like a lot of horror movies that like snuck up on me and like actually were like really good, like the Insidious movies and like The Conjuring. I remember we watched The Conjuring and it was really good.
That shit fucked me up.
I haven't seen like any of the sequels or prequels or shit, but like The Conjuring was really good.
I like
like-
Oculus.
Yeah, I haven't seen Oculus, but I've also heard that one was good.
Which one was that one?
That one, like there was like a haunted mirror sort of in a house.
Yeah.
It was like more ominous than scary.
Yeah, and like
not very jump scary.
like obviously like, you know, everybody's fucking MVP 2017 Get Out. Like that one,
yeah.
that one was like, you know, that one hit everybody. But like It Follows. You guys see It Follows?
Vaughn hated that movie. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like
abstinence preaching movie.
I could,
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
appreciate it. I personally was not like, oh my god, it's so scary. But I get it. Like if you're 15 years
yeah,
old,
the
and
soundtrack is so good. I
if
love
you're
the soundtrack.
if you're a virgin,
That was not a movie that like made me jump out of my seat, but it was
No.
still like engaging.
It was-
in
yes,
like
yes.
its suspense and like the way that like it didn't rely on cheap jump scares, like the fact that like it just showed the monster as like an inevitability, like no matter
Yes.
where you go, it's gonna keep coming. It's like even like in like really casual wide shots, it's just like, yeah, this thing's still coming at you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And like Ian said, like I remember I saw it before he did. And like I told him, like, yeah, you're definitely gonna like at the very least you're gonna like the soundtrack of this movie. And he came back, he's like, yeah, I like the soundtrack because the soundtrack is fucking dope in that movie.
Yeah, like I listened to more of Disaster Pieces compositions from that. And I saw It Follows on a date with a guy.
Yeah.
oh,
I kissed him.
Hey,
Good for you, man.
You see what this movie's doing to people? But
It's doing the exact opposite. It's not doing abstinence. It's
Yeah.
doing the opposite.
yeah. I mean, I understand if
Tell
you're
that
like
to the
15
director.
and you're like a virgin. Like, yeah, I would scare the shit out of me.
I'm already afraid of sex. This made it worse.
yeah, see this. But
It's
that's,
gonna hurt.
I'll never change. I'll never grow. And then they went on Reddit and became Nazis.
yes, that is the problem that I had with It Follows. Is because it gave me blue balls. It
What?
It it put its hand. Wait, metaphorically. It metaphorically gave me blue balls. It put its hand on my shaft, got me excited for good horror content, and then nothing fucking happened. Which is the same.
It gave you a boner and then left.
Exactly, and so it was pure buildup, and the same with the apparition with Ashley Greene. It was pure buildup. It was pure buildup, and then it doesn't give you anything at the end of the movie. You're like, what was
It's
that?
like they just like go on until like you're about to climax and they leave. Like,
Exactly.
And
That's what those movies are.
Hey, wait a minute. Blue balls is the true horror.
dun dun dun.
Yes.
You just play the X-Files song. It's like the
Wait a
Beef
minute, wait a
Baby.
minute. Has anybody done a mashup of the X-Files theme and the theme from It Follows?
No. Have you heard the mashup of the Stranger Things theme song, but like cumbia? Yeah, he is all like, I'm fucking living
We
for
gotta
this.
check
Dude,
this
yes,
out
it's
right
my
now.
favorite.
Yeah, it's pretty bumping.
Yeah, I love it.
bumping.
Bumping. But who did it? I will say they were not. They didn't do the best job of doing it.
Yeah.
They got the tempos all fucked up.
You take what you can get.
But that's just me. Nobody else will notice that except for.
But that's the thing, though. I was like,
me,
Vaughn, you can't
and
make it
other
cumbia
people
because
that
you don't
use
know
audio
cumbia.
software.
Yes. Like, I'm fucking ready.
Hopper's like outside Joyce's house, holding
Yes.
holding a
Fuck yeah.
boombox over his head, playing this shit.
And they're all fucking
Because
dancing
it's-
with modelos in their hand. The bottle modelos.
Especial.
Yes, yes.
We're giving too much power to the internet. People are just doing whatever they want.
Literally, this is what they wanted. This is why they want to have control over the internet. Like, these people need to be stopped.
Yeah, this is why they tried to get rid of net neutrality.
Yes.
I saw like people adapt memes into.
We're eating
into
Tide
guitar-
Pods for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah, it's monstrous. But like people adapt memes into Guitar Hero tracks. Like I was seeing somebody like like adapting like the clip of Goku going Super Saiyan 3 to a Guitar Hero track, and it's punishing.
It's punishing.
Yeah, it's just so, it's just you never see something like just wrong enough to make you go like I shouldn't be. Like not super wrong like Donald Trump getting elected, just
Oh my god.
just wrong enough where you're like I'm done. I'm kind of done for now. Ian, look it up.
What?
Goku Super Saiyan 3 Guitar Hero track.
I don't want to add this.
You don't have to add it. I just want to prove a point.
I just want to prove my point.
Everybody
Before I die, before net neutrality gets repealed.
Before
I think it's going to be tied up in the courts.
before I dematerialize Obi-Wan Kenobi style and just become a pile of collapsed clothing and somebody stomps over it. This isn't the Guitar Hero track. This is just the clip from Dragon Ball Z. It's a good clip, but you know.
This is what scientists were trying to tell us about black holes. Because now everything's figuratively becoming a singularity. We're mixing anime and memes and Guitar Hero.
And Tide Pods.
And
Truth.
Tide Pods. That's
Tide
what,
Pods and pizza.
This is what
Yes.
scientists were trying to tell us about.
Exclusive world premiere.
This looks like something 14-year-olds watch.
Probably, yeah. I just saw it on fucking Tumblr, which doesn't help prove my point. but
Exactly.
This is... I at least know that this is morally wrong. So,
Look, the guy has pink hair for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's not great. But like he also Goku has yellow hair, so who really wins?
That is true.
I specifically remember this from Vaughn's house that I'm like sort of good at guitar, but I suck at Guitar Hero. Like I know how to play "Laid to Rest" by Lamb of God on guitar, but I played it at Vaughn's house on Guitar Hero, and I just was totally bailing.
Oh, it's not the same. It's
not the same
at all.
No.
Yeah, I like that's pretty much what I've heard from like most people who play guitar really well. Is just like they fucking hate Guitar Hero because all the songs are different.
Vaughn
I
is
love
both.
I love both, but Guitar Hero is fucking hard. I was like, really?
Some people get into playing guitar from Guitar Hero, which seems backwards.
Yeah, but it definitely happened. Oh, here we go. All right, I see what you're doing here. Damn.
It's just
Oh, now you're playing a power chord.
playing screaming on a guitar. It's so wrong.
When is somebody going to make a Mersbo Guitar Hero?
When will God stop your sinful hand?
God died for our sins.
And there was no one.
Wait,
to bring...
no, Jesus did not.
No,
God.
no. Jesus died 2,000 years ago. God died today, and there's nobody to bring him back because there's no God now.
Is he gonna
Oh
five
my
button
fucking
it?
God.
I'm anticipating.
God isn't dead.
I'm anticipating
Nietzsche played
this
Guitar
five
Hero.
button. There we go. It hit the 5 buttons. Oh, he's got Piccolo sweating and everything.
Yeah, Piccolo sweating.
He is. He feels it, man.
How is he generating that much power?
So, like, when you go Super Saiyan, do you, like, nut at the same time?
No, you just turn into an Aryan.
No. Going Super Saiyan is what happens when you nut and shit and cough and sneeze at the same time.
Oh, no!
It is too powerful. No mortal was meant to do it.
Who made this wine?
I don't know.
This guy probably works at a coffee shop.
I don't know, but they should be punished.
Good night to
Oh, he's
literally
even
everyone
incorporating the
except
open
for the
notes
guy
now,
who made
too.
this
Is
video.
just insane. Yeah.
Goku died for our sins.
Way too much time.
And
on
then
our
God died for whoever made this.
2 million views didn't even monetize it.
hands. They just do this for fun.
No joke, I watch this video when I work out. Not the Guitar Hero version, just the regular
Yeah.
Super Saiyan version.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation Mondays.
Goku died for our sins.
He was crucified.
And I will be like him. No. Obviously no.
Oh no.
I saw this one thing that was like, Jesus was crucified once and Britney Spears was crucified for an entire year for shaving her head. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, true.
Yeah, Jesus was crucified for like what? No more than 24 hours?
Well, technically it was 3 days, because on the third day was when he was gone.
for like he was dead for 3 days. But like the actual crucifixion
True,
lasted like
yeah.
no more than a day, and then he was dead and he was put in a tomb.
Yeah.
But like
Great.
yeah, Brittany was crucified for like at least a year, if not more.
Exactly.
If not more.
Yes.
She was under so much pressure.
She shaved her fucking head. Like that's how stressed out I am.
All of like the Renaissance like statues and paintings of Jesus like being like crucified and like being cradled by his mother and shit. Like there should be like at least one Renaissance style painting or sculpture of like
Britney Spears.
of Britney like attacking the Escalade with an umbrella.
Yes.
Like that shit should be commemorated and like put in the MoMA.
I want that as an album cover.
I do too. Shit.
Yes.
Also, by the way,
Actually, can this be the cover for this podcast episode?
probably yeah, like Britney attacking it with,
Yes.
with an umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah, I could download that.
And, like,
Yeah.
just do like a quick Photoshop filter to make it look painterly, so that it's like Renaissance painting and shit.
Oh yes, yes.
But like, I just wanted to float this out there. Depending on how many of Ian's friends in the underground music scene are listening, I am an artist and I can do album covers for you. Just hit me up. My prices are very fair. I assume I haven't worked out my prices yet, but if you hit me up, I'll work out my prices.
I don't know why you haven't done a Cheap Windows album cover for me yet.
Because we haven't talked about it yet. Let's do it.
We should do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
He accepts payments in Tide Pods.
I do not. I never agreed to that.
Jack
Nor
also
did-
accepts Bitcoins. He hates Bitcoins.
I do hate Bitcoins, which is why I don't accept them. I only accept
Tide Pods.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Yeah, Giannis turned me onto it. He turned me onto it. He's right. That currency has nowhere to go but up. So I'm going to invest all my money in Bitcoin.
I saw that
in Dogecoin.
skyrocketed, even though it's like a joke.
Oh my god! Of course, it actually did skyrocket, even though it's a fucking joke. Nobody.
Well, of course, like people are actually eating Tide Pods. We saw this video.
Nobody knows.
No, we saw this fucking video of this dude who opened like a Tide Pod and put it in his dab rig and fucking smoked a Tide Pod. I was like, what
That
the
dude
fuck?
is getting cancer.
and then he died.
Well, it doesn't see what happens afterwards,
No.
but like, I wanted, like, do you think he, like, actually got fucked up off a
All I'm
Tide?
saying is that
He
he,
got
looks
hella
pretty
fucked up.
happy after he smoked that.
Of course, he is a white man.
Maybe we need to be more.
Did
like
he? Did he at least like put like a jerry rig filter on it or something, or did he just smoke it straight up?
He just smoked it straight out.
We are not a species built to last. We are here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly.
But
He
Jesus,
did not give a fuck.
Jesus Christ, nobody knows how to just let a bit be a bit anymore.
No.
It's got to be like life or death
Yeah.
before we stop.
like, oh, this is about to go viral. Okay, we got to
Dude,
kill it. We've got to
like,
beat the dead horse.
I do
I'm going to smoke a Tide Pod.
Does a dog wear pants like this or like this? Turns
up.
into an L4 bacteriophage.
and then it turns into a dog fighting ring, and then somebody gets bitten to death. Point is, like, I do improv. I do improvised comedy and shits. I've done some crazy shit for the sake of a bit. I've hurt myself for the sake of a bit. I've jumped off stage and landed 5 feet off the ground on my keys for the sake of a laugh. I've done some crazy shit for a bit. Even I know at a certain point you just gotta let the bit go.
What the
Let
fuck?
it the fuck go. Do not kill yourself for the bit. What the fuck? Does a bacteriophage wear pants like this or like this? Obviously it's option B. Are we kidding?
I want to say it's option B.
Option A is like individual pant legs.
Yes, yes.
Either way, all his connectors are covered.
Yeah. Option A is like fishnet stockings but made out of denim and also microscopic and contagious. Option B at least has some sort of internal logic to it.
Once,
Yeah, like-
once world peace is solved, this will be what the arguments will be about.
We will never have world peace because of things like this.
Science will turn into memes.
Yes, pretty much.
Visualize world memes. Hey, wait a minute. What if memes are not a roadblock to world peace, but are in fact the cobblestones that pave the path to world peace?
We will join
What if-
together in memes.
Like
we will become one.
memes are already reaching the point where they transcend language.
Yes.
What if they transcend all language, all cultural backgrounds, all biases, all prejudice? What if memes are the Rosetta Stone that leads to true lasting peace?
What the fuck?
Okay, that's no. You
The
made a
only
good
issue
point.
there, the issue there is that we've established over the last like 5 years that memes have an increasingly short shelf life. So we would have to keep churning out memes super fast. We would jump out of a plane and continuously have to sew our parachute on the way down over and over again. And then we would never reach the bottom. We would just have to keep doing that forever. And if we ever falter, then we all die.
You remember that one video of that Keaton kid who's like crying on camera because he's like being bullied? Yeah, so like
And
someone.
then his mom had it came out that his mom had all those pictures with Confederate flags and shit.
Yeah, they're like racist. Surprise! They're racist.
Surprise! Like everybody who gets popular on social media, surprise, racism.
Yeah, so she like got like $50,000 via GoFundMe to quote unquote end bullying. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Also, like, I'm always wary of people who like film their kids
Yeah, like
crying and like being upset about being bullied and then put it on social media.
like you're
I'm
recording
always
him
wary of
in
that
the
shit.
heat of his passions.
There
Like,
have been YouTube accounts that sort of abuse their kids too, like Family of Five.
Yeah, that shit. Like that's an entirely different can of worms. But like just anybody who like that is like point blank. That's exploiting your kid
yeah, for clout.
for clout, and also probably like as as she proved, for GoFundMe money.
Yes.
And like just generally like social media like good person points, like getting a pat on the back, like, oh, you understand that your child is in pain, and now you've published it so that we can all see that you understand your child is in pain. You are a good parent for this.
He probably
apparently.
got hella bullied at school for that. She was like, I heard
Oh,
you fucking crying on the internet,
No
you bitch.
doubt the bullying got worse.
Yes.
If not specifically in his case, then just in general, when somebody pulls that
Yes.
shit, it definitely gets worse for the kid. But hey, you got some likes.
But I have
and you're-
$50,000, bitch.
and you're like 130 Facebook friends gave you a thumbs up, so it was worth it, right?
Yeah.
For your kid to suffer, it was worth it. Fuck you.
And so someone like took a screenshot of him crying, and then they made it into a meme, and it was like, what do you want me to do to you, baby? And then it was that kid who was like, throw bread at me, pour milk down my pants, and put ham, like throw ham at me, something like that.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
oh my God. But I mean, I don't feel bad for that lady at all.
I still definitely feel bad for the kid. I definitely don't feel bad for the lady.
No.
First, because she just put her son's business on social media, and second, because of the Confederate flag
But
racism bullshit.
Also, I think it was like staged to some extent too, because if I was his age, I would not want my mom with a camera in my face to be like, baby, tell me what happened at school. I'd be like, fuck you, mom, like turn the camera off.
But also, like, we're older. We have like the gift of hindsight of like having like known a time when this wasn't a ubiquitous thing. Like a kid his age, like he's like 12 or 13 right now, so he probably doesn't really have like the frame of reference that we do of like, oh, there was a time when people weren't always recording shit on their phones. Like he doesn't remember that, so it's like it is more normalized in his mind. Also, probably because this is not the first time his mom has done shit like this.
Probably.
If like your kid gets in your car heartbroken and crying, and
Your
you
first
shove a
instinct-
camera in his face and he keeps going, that's probably not the first time he pulled that shit.
Yeah, like
so
that-
he's probably very well used to it
Yeah.
and has no frame of reference outside of
But
it.
that
so it's
should
like,
not be your first instinct too. It's more like, hey, like,
Yeah.
talk to me. Like, I'm here for you. Like, what's going on? It
Yeah,
should not be
but,
like, here, let
Yeah.
me record you so I could show everyone, and then really, essentially, not do anything to fix the problem at the end of the day.
but again, like the onus is on the parent to like
Right.
show that like what is normal communication when you're going through a hard time and what isn't, and she chose to demonstrate isn't.
Exactly.
And then also took pictures with a Confederate flag and shit, and said, "No, it's ironic that
Like-
that white people smiling and giving a thumbs up in front of a Confederate
Like,
flag.
did you really-
It's funny. Get it? No.
Like,
I
did you
don't.
think we were gonna look past that? Really? Like, come on now. Like,
What do you think's gonna happen? Shit. So we really haven't come full circle, but I feel like we've covered a lot of stuff, and also my voice is absolutely trashed.
Vaughn and I
So-
are about ready to sleep now.
I am too.
half of this, 75% of this has been just Jack and I talking.
Yeah, pretty much. We've carried this shit, even though my voice has not been up to the task. And like, yeah, I'm also like I'm between two worlds here. Like I'm chatting it up with Yvonne, but also I'm in your guys' camp where like I did a lot of work yesterday. I moved 5 couches, and also I watched The Last Jedi, so I'm very drained and I'm ready to sleep more. So I think
Tide Pod flavored energy drinks help.
Tide Pod flavored energy drinks will not give you energy. They will take energy. They will take your energy for life. They will kill you, and then you'll die, and then you'll have no energy. But on the plus side, you'll be able to sleep like forever. So that's
Actually,
Detergent
though, like-
flavored Red Bull.
No, fuck. But
That's
actually,
just Red
what
Bull,
are
dude.
what
That's
really
just
are
Red Bull.
the side effects of eating a Tide Pod? Like, I want to know that. I'm not gonna do it.
Death!
I just want to know.
death is the side effect.
And we need our fact checker Ian to
Yes, Ian,
I-
please
please.
examine what the side effects.
Even if they
of
don't kill
Tide
you,
Pod
like
are.
those are legitimately caustic chemicals. So you can just like
You're gonna get fucking cancer and you're
yeah,
gonna die.
You can say goodbye to like your voice forever. Like you can say goodbye
Since
to that
there's
shit.
soap in those, soap can kill you if you eat enough of it. Like,
Yeah.
if you swallow like a tiny bit, you'll be okay. But if
Yeah.
you eat like straight up soap, you will die.
But if you bite into a Tide Pod and like even just like the first gush, if you swallow that, say goodbye to your voice, and then you'll only be able to romance like a fish man who sees you for who you are. So, I mean, like, thanks, Guillermo del Toro, for telling us that it's okay to eat Tide Pods.
Oh my God.
You're killing a generation, Guillermo. I keep yelling, even though I really shouldn't. My voice is just dead. And this has been Oh Well You Bastards. And thank you guys so much for being on. I've got to call it at this point because I really cannot do anymore.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I like at this point, like I really don't see us doing like a one-on-one episode anymore. Like I think it's just gonna be guests from here on out. Like we've done 2 one-on-one episodes and like 6 or 7 with guests. So
This is fun though.
Yeah.
I want to come back.
I do prefer the guest setup at this point. I think that's just gonna be how it is from now on.
Yeah, we may do a one-on-one eventually if we really need to, but I should be good at getting guests for the most part, and I'd like to get more of your friends on as well.
Yeah. Like we'll get to that when I'm able to talk again. Next week, my voice will probably be normal again.
So this is the end of the episode.
For the time being,
Thank you.
I am the bat.
Gracias,
Batman.
Yvonne.
Thank you.
Vaughn,
you.
Vaughn, Yvonne, or Vaughn Yvonne for short.
Yvonne.
Like
Tide
Yvonne,
Pods
be with
Yvonne.
you.
Yes,
Yes.
Yvonne.
Tide Pods.
Yvonne.
No,
Ramirez.
It's Vaughn Yvonne, sort of like a Bon Iver situation.
What?
Maybe.
White nonsense. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
White nonsense. I listen to Bonnie Bear.
Yeah. Well, that's a good
All right, goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Goodbye, horses. This is where you put the outro. Goodbye, horses.
Goodbye.
Oh my fucking God. It's so good.
Goodbye. Hey guys, Sound of Music is a really good movie.